Hey guys, welcome back to For StarCraft 2 Strategy, your #1 location for step-by-step strategy and tutorial videos. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to stop a 6-pool rush as Terran. Now this isn't going to be so much a step-by-step as far as numbers thing is concerned, because while those step-by-step videos are definitely going to help the newer players and they're going to help players looking to try out new strategies, they don't really do well in reactionary play, basically. What does that mean? What exactly am I trying to say? I'm having trouble with my words this morning. I just woke up. It's okay though. Basically, you can't really count on like a number by number kind of play style, which is really just most effective when you're starting out building your strategies and figuring out timing as to when to put down the buildings and when to get things out as quickly and efficiently as possible, when you're responding to a situation your opponent's throwing at you. In this case, the 6-pool rush. Now, say I go into this game thinking I want to do a tank Hellion build or some sort of mech play or a bio ball. I won't be able to go through with my full motion once I start getting affected by what my opponent's doing. And again, in this case, I'm going to get hit with a 6-pool rush. So let me just try to put it this way. There's a bunch of Zerglings at the front of my base. It would be really stupid of me at that point to drop a factory instead of spending that minerals on bringing out some Marines to fend off those, or repairing my front with my SCVs. So in reactionary positions, it's not so much about what building you place at what time. It's just about a general game sense and about knowing what to do in that situation and how to respond. So again, this is a 6-pool rush that we're going to be facing. I just did a standard opening here. Went with supply depot, barracks, refinery, supply depot, blocking off my front here. Pumping out my first Marine, as I always do, to try to fend off any early aggression. And then look here, I am 50%, I'm going to pause this right here. I am 50% of the way to completing my first Marine, and our Zerg friend here already has 6 Zerglings right at the front of our base. Looking back at his base here, you can see he clearly went for the 6-pool rush. He has very little on his base, very little as far as gatherers, and you look back at me, this is kind of the saturation you should expect at this point in the game, 3 minutes game time. So going back up here, gonna push play. Zerglings hitting the front of my base, so first thing I know that I need to do is bring up some SCVs to repair this. I bring them up, and what you want to do is you want to put them on auto repair. This is kind of going to allow them to run around and do what's necessary in the repairing sense while you concentrate on other things. So I'm seeing this 6-pool rush. What do? I automatically start building another Marine. I see those Zerglings back off. Now this is the point where this is the point where experience and I guess now that you've watched this video, you should know what to do and you should have no excuse. On this map, if your opponent, you see them pushing for a rush and then they just pull back for really no good reason, check these back rocks, because clearly this is not a situation that's good. He's about 3/4 of it's been done about 3/4 of the way through. Now what your next move here is to go ahead and block this off. So what I do is I start building one barracks, I lift off the barracks at the front of my base, and I bring it over here to drop it down, and then what I'm going to do is to make sure that the front of my base doesn't get hit, I actually go ahead and start building another barracks over there. So basically I'm just trying to continue to wall him away, because once he breaks through these rocks, he would have free reign of running into my mineral line, and that's not really something I'm interested in having happening. So I go ahead and drop down this barracks, this one building, supply depot, and then look, he's just about there. He's only got about 1/4 of the rocks left. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go ahead and build another supply depot right here. So I got a full wall off before he managed to finish off these rocks. These poor Marines did get trapped on this side. Not a huge deal though. I mean, I guess at this point I really should have pulled them back through this. I was concentrating on my next move at that point. Just trying to keep things as normal as possible while in the face of this danger. I do have these 2 Marines coming out right here, and these 2 are going to be able to fend him off with these 2 guys sitting here on auto repair. This wall right here is going to be absolutely fine. He then tries to decide to go over here. He thinks maybe he left his front undefended, which for the time being there are no Marines there, but I knew when I saw him pull back that that's probably was going to be his next move. But I'm actually going ahead and dropping 2 factories. I ended up, since he hasn't harassed my mineral line at all, I've had a steady flow, I've had extra income. So this is kind of the planning ahead stage. I know he's done a 6 pull rush at this point. I know that he hit me way too early with way too many things, so there's no way he's going to have much at his base. So I'm going to be pumping out some siege tanks and Hellions, and I just know it's going to be way too much for him to handle. He's fully committed. As you can see, he does have a queen out, hasn't produced any more drones. He is sitting on a lot of minerals. Not really sure why that is, but yeah, looking back at my base, he tries to keep bouncing back and forth, but absolutely nothing's happening. So I guess this video, again, it wasn't so much about build times and the step-by-step kind of strategy when you're first coming up with kind of game plans for things you want to do versus certain races. But it's about the reactionary, and this is really this is something I haven't really touched on yet, but this is really the most important aspect of StarCraft. It's your reactionary ability, your ability to respond to what your opponent's doing, and even more so, your ability to force your opponent to respond to things that would be beneficial to you. So that's something that I'm really going to go into in future strategy videos. Kind of started taking it off slow by just going the basic strategies, kind of wiping out my opponents early, and basic sort of things here. And do keep in mind, I mean, this is a 6 pool. This is in the Diamond League. I'm in the Diamond League in my 1v1 and 2v2 brackets, and so this is something you still see all over the place. It's still prevalent, and it obviously works to some extent. I mean, if he's done nothing else but the 6 pool, which I'm not sure if that's the case, but if that is the case, it got him into the Diamond League, so it worked for him. But I mean, really good players, once you kind of know these basic strategies, like for example, once you know what the 6 pool means, what it implies for the player, you're going to know how to respond to it. So with the proper block off and a couple defensive marines, and then teching up right here to siege tanks and Hellions, it's going to be too much for him. If I did eventually push out, which I actually wasn't able to, because he actually goes ahead and leaves the game once he realizes I have siege tanks. It's pretty much over. He realizes there's nothing he can do. He does one last-ditch attempt here to try to take out my front. All those Zerglings are just going to get blown up by these Marines and the siege tank. Bringing up SCVs again to repair. And I guess that's really one of the key... Oh, okay, I guess I don't bring them up to repair. I guess I bring them out to just check out the supply depot. But anyways, he leaves the game. So yeah, this has been for StarCraft 2 strategy. Let's just go ahead and do one quick overview here again. This video really again was just about responding to a situation. I got hit early. I managed to fend off the front here. Really important that I checked out the back, and then was able to block that off as well. And then just teching up from that point, knowing that your opponent's not going to have much. And once I had siege tanks and Hellions out, that was pretty much game over. I mean, if you go back to his base, siege tanks and Hellions would rip this apart in a matter of seconds. So, yeah, this has been for StarCraft 2 strategy, your #1 location for step-by-step strategy and tutorial videos. Please stay tuned for future videos. Keep watching and keep owning, guys.